Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about my own personal experience on um, how to do well in a job interview. So, as a disclaimer, I'm not a professional in terms of giving people advice on how to do well in the job interview. If you are looking for professional advice on how to do well on your job interview, then find a professional who can actually help you and guide you. But I'm just going to talk about my own personal experience and how that has helped me into getting a job. Um, when it comes, so I did struggle with getting with filling in application forms, and in my last video I did talk about how to fill an application form in a way that you'll become successful and shortlisted for a job interview. But and also other than just struggling to fill in an application in a way that you get a job or get shortlisted for an interview, I didn't also know how to do interviews. So even though I would, if I end up being called up for a job interview, I didn't know how to prepare. And even if I prepared, I didn't know how to prepare well. And also, I will be, even if I planned on what to say, how to answer the questions, which I didn't know how to do properly anyway, I would get really nervous during the interviews. And then that alone, being really nervous and then forgetting everything that I planned, and then not knowing how to answer questions or not answering them at all. So those are things that were hindering me from getting a job. So because of that, I sought professional guidance. So I got help. I looked for help, and I got help from professionals who guided me on how to fill in job applications properly, and what to write, not what to write, but how to write things like personal personal statements in the job applications. And also when it comes to interviews, how to answer questions, how to prepare for the interviews, what to things to look out for, what to read, what you can read about, and then questions that you might they might ask, and how to answer them. So basically, things to read up on before your interview, and also trying not to feel nervous, and stuff like that. So obviously I have a job now, and I've been through applications, filling in job applications. I've been through interviews, lots and lots of interviews, and finally I've got a job. But I did learn a lot of things through all that. Having gone through all that, it was very hard, stressful, applying for jobs left and right, and not knowing how to fill in application forms, and then not getting shortlisted for interviews, having applied for so many jobs. And then even when I get a job interview, not knowing how to prepare for the job interview. So it is a very stressful time in someone's life. So what few things that I've learned from all that experience, and I've gotten really good at it, is when you're planning for a job interview, the most important things to do is read the job description of the job you've applied for. Read it well, know it really well. Not everything on the list of the job description that they want the person to have, the person who they're going to give the job to have. So because they will have a list of, on the job description of the role you've applied for, they will have a list of things that what the job is all about. So things that you know how to do in a job. Like for example, if the job was, like I always use the um this example, customer service. So maybe on that job description, they will write, you know, in this role you'll be required to speak or to talk to different types of people, different customers. So you need to be able to talk to different customers, different people from different backgrounds as well. So once you know your job description really well, and then you need to think what kind of questions they might ask. And so if they ask you a question of that's related to customer service, for example, and let's say that's what the job is, just remember that when you read the job description, that is something that they touched on or they spoke about. So give examples of when you've used customer service in the past. Examples, you could pull examples from a job that you've done before, or jobs that you've done before, or placements or work experience or anything like that. Anything like the most I mean, if you can get experience from workplace, a working environment, like a job that you've done, like a work experience, and work related examples, if you can get examples like that, those are the ones to use. And obviously you've got to have done these experiences, you've got to have worked somewhere to have an example to use. You've got to have done a work experience somewhere or voluntary work somewhere in order to have an example to use. So use those examples and to explain how you have such and such skills or that they're looking for. And so these are the kind of things to look out for. Always remember your job description. And then any question they ask, most of the questions they ask will be related to the bullet points they put into the job description. So as when they ask a question, just in your head think, is this touching on any of the bullet points in the job description? So you need to remember the job description as well. You're gonna have to do some memorizing. Remember the job description, link the question they're asking to anything in the job description, and then use examples of when you've shown such skill or experience or ability or quality, and then using experience, and explain then how you have that quality. So another example is if in the job description they want someone who can who has strong teamwork, and then that's in the job description, and they ask you a question regarding teamwork. So think of, if you've done a job in the past, if we've worked somewhere in the past where you have shown teamwork quality, then you could use that example and say, look, I have teamwork, I can work in a team because I've worked in in that company or this company, and I did such and such and such, which proved such and such, and obviously including, you got to, well, okay, so I worked at this in whatever company, whatever the name is, and you've proved that you have teamwork because you had to take on a task that required working, something like that, something along those lines. So basically give an example of when you've shown that where you've practiced teamwork, where you've worked in a team. So examples like that. Always give examples when they ask you questions. Like problem solving, another one, they might want someone who has problem solving skills. So again, pull an example of where you've worked before and where you've shown where you've proven that you have problem solving. So give an example of, like, if you're given a task and it was a problem to solve, and how you did it, how you solved it, what the task was, how you solved that what the problem was, and how you solved that problem, and what were the results like, and did so so the results of so how you solved the problem and what you did to solve the problem. Did it actually work? Did it, the problem at hand, was it actually solved? If it was, then that's great, and that shows that you have problem solving skills. So you use examples like that. Those are and also like key points. So if you notice that in the job description, they are mentioning some points, so that might be key points. Also mention those as well in the interview. Obviously, they've got to be related to the question they're asking you, not just random answers. Also read about the company that you're going to work into. You're going to work in if you get the job, and you can talk about the company, and also you can talk about the company, like questions like why. Let's say, for example, they ask you, why do you want to work in this company? Then that's the perfect time when you can talk about what you know about the company, because you've researched the company. And then also have questions to ask at the end. Always have questions to ask at the end. If they ask you, do you have any questions for us, when the interview is coming to a close, always ask questions, and the questions must be related to the job you're applying for. It must be related to either the company or the job role, things like that. Not just any random questions that have nothing to do with the job that you're applying for, because that's just silly. And it also shows that you are interested in this job, and you're not just wasting anyone's time. Things like that. And then just the normal things like get enough sleep before the a night enough sleep a night before the interview. Dress really well, dress professional. You just put in the effort, your looks, how you look, the clothes you're wearing. Just look, all those efforts show that you are serious about the job. You mean it. You really want this job, and you have all those things to offer. And also, like, being nervous can let someone down, and of course everyone gets nervous, but if it's shown too much to the people who are giving you the interview, then they'll notice it. And when they notice it, it might be you might, compared to someone who's showing confidence instead of being nervous, they might not pick you over that person. So they're looking for someone who's confident, and smiles and stuff like that. So job interviews they're not for everyone. Not everyone is. You could be really good at a job, but you might be lacking job interview skills, because even though you can answer every question, but nervousness can kick in, and it can be really hard to turn that off. And then because of that, you might not get the job, not because you couldn't answer the questions, but because you just felt nervous. So job interviews, like I said, they're not for everyone, but it doesn't mean you're not good at, if you were given the chance to do the job, you'll be good, but you still need to prove to them beforehand, before they can give you the job during the interview, that you are fit for that job, that you should be that you have what it takes to do the job. Planning, preparations are really, really the key. And you can actually prepare your job interview yourself with someone else, like before the interview, the actual interview. You can prepare it in front of the mirror or in front of someone, like a friend, just pretending they are your interviewers, and they're asking you questions and you're answering them. Just take it serious then, and so maybe that will help with the nervousness when you go to the actual interview. So I hope that helps someone, because I've been through it myself and I get really nervous, but with practice I've gotten better. And I'll see you. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.